Victory is ours.
Hello there and welcome to the Anniversary Classic. Waiting with bated breath, all of the viewers are now ready in hyped anticipation for this fantastic matchup in the north. I'm bringing you Prodigy and Captain S. Price.
That's right, they'll be playing as allies, but playing as the Axis from the south side of Crossing in the Woods. In the red trunks, Isildur playing as OKW, and his purple companion today, Vonasten.
Everyone needs a purple companion in life, and Vonasten, you may think he's Barney the dinosaur, but he's a absolutely horrendously aggressive player, much more like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, if you will. They are on a very good faction matchup here. This is Crossing in the Woods. It's a nicely spread and open map, which is perfect hunting ground for the Wehrmacht MG42.
I think this, especially in 1v1, has always been considered like an austere favoured map, and it's a very, very good map for sniper gameplay because there's just so much cover, you know, for the sniper to stealth, and also there's a lot of negative cover, you know, for units to cross over. They have to be very, very cautious when travelling around this map that you don't lose models carelessly to the negative cover all over. But here are our first engagements happening already, and Isildur here trying to be aggressive with the Stern Pioneers.
Not working. No, we got sniped there, and Tommy's are great from behind cover. But what Captain S. Price is going to be looking to do in this game is get 5 Tommy squads, not 3, not 4, but 5 Tommy squads, and get Bolster, and he is going to manhandle his opponents.
Like the Brits being able to get the 5th man gives a huge boost to their efficiency holding field positions. But what a great start for Axis. I think this is to be a bit expected, but they're taking double fuel, huge resource lead for the start of this game.
Not bad, you know, not bad at all. Tommy's not trying to get around the side of this house here. Folks Grenadiers holding firm.
Wait, this one's interesting. So obviously, you know, the houses, how many windows are on each side is really important. The players are trying to pick the best advantage point. Price loses a squad there. Actually, one of the models just went down late retreat. And you see him there just pulling the last squad away. That's not what you want at the start of the game.
That's not good going at all. Captain S. Price losing a squad there, possibly a little bit of nerves perhaps. He definitely didn't judge it very well at all. And that's exactly what Vonasten and Isildur need. The Dutch and UK connection versus the 2 Polish players. So we have a little bit of a Polish tandem there. And they're looking strong right now, having been a squad wipe up in this Game 1 of the quarterfinal for Anniversary Classic. Tell your friends, get them in this Twitch stream.
Absolutely. I mean, a great competitive game. Many hours. In fact, about 6,000 hours for me. Sunk into Company of Heroes. Highly advise you get it, unless you have a career that you want to stick in. Because you will spend a lot of time playing this.
Oh, nice retreat path there. Penal Battalion's going along that northern road. Grenadiers gunning them down. Here comes their brethren, though, to body block and catch some Mauser fire.
Just talk about the situation that allies are facing right now with that squad wipe early on. Such a really devastating hit early on for Price. Having to rebuild that squad has cost him a lot of manpower now. So the allies really have to get something together quite special to push the map. And also, you know, Prodigy went tier 1. He's been slow to get his penal battalions on the field. They've lost a lot of map control early on.
They really have, and that means their T70 and, you know, possible Cromwell are going to be delayed slightly. Captain S. Price is all about getting the death ball up his Brits, and as we know, he lost a Tommy squad. So they have been pushed back quite a lot, to be honest. Fuel in the west does look like it's about to be connected, though. Tommy's going to hold firm with their bolstered extra 5th man.
It's actually very, very important that Price has managed to do this. Getting that fuel resource is essential for allies to get the vehicles they need to get back on the map. And as you say, it's you know, it's going to be a tough game right from the start. It's going to be good of Isildur here to try and push the left-hand side, try and cut them off from the fuel early. When Price really gets going with the walls, I mean, that's when it's the danger zone. You just want to hold him off.
But is he going to get going? Because we've got an MG34 coming out as well for Isildur, so he knows Price's game. Here we go, 2 penal battalions operating as a 10-man tandem special operations team. Nice fire from the MG42, otherwise known as a certain dictator's buzzsaw. Nice rifle nade. Wasn't lucky with the spread, though. Maybe it's a little bit close to the sandbags. Some of these top-level players try and aim behind the sandbags to catch them on retreat, but not quite the case in that situation. Incendiary grenade goes and pushes away the Tommies.
Like I say, I mean, Price just doesn't have enough to hold areas of the map at the moment, but you know, later on with the 5-man squads, they do perform very well in cover. That's like one of the things the Brits are really good at doing. You see here, engineers have been called on. They're going to be a bit better at medium to close range damage.
But it's not the map for close quarter combat, I guess. But
no,
he's stuck for resources. Look, he's got 16 fuel. He may have teched to tier 2, and we don't know where he's fully going at the moment. But yeah, he's stuck for fuel. We got the Panzer II Lukes on the way for Isildur, so that's going to be tearing squads up in no time. Probable PTRS upgrade necessitated for Prodigy do.
We should probably explain early on about the Prodigy naming.
Yes, it's a very enigmatic character. Nobody knows fully what his name is.
Jury's still out.
222 on the hunt, looking to bust some skulls.
So actually wonder, like you're going to be thinking, really, look at the army. So Price, Prodigy, what is Price going to be going for? I mean, do we really see Price build emplacements ever? Because we commonly see Brits, build the mortar pit on this map. It's really effective at dealing in the centre and holding the VPs, but is Price the kind of person that's going to put that down? I'm
not sure. I think he needs all his pop cap for the death ball he wants to build, quite frankly. He has just got that strategy. It works for him. 22 scout car, said in the campus German accent I can muster. And look at the beautiful graphics on display in Coming Heroes 2. It's a 2018 year, but it's a 2013 game, but you wouldn't have guessed it if I hadn't told you.
As the Panzer II Lukes has finally arrived on the field for Isildur. What a great unit to have to clear up the British Tommies that are well overstepping the mark in enemy territory right now. A one-man model squad retreats.
One-man model squad. Indeed, he's now dead as a dodo. His modelling career's not going to catch on, is it? His mugshot's now plastered across the ground there, thanks to the Panzer II Lukes.
That was, yeah. Again, I think you should expect that vehicles are going to be, that deep in enemy territory at this time of the game. Especially when your opponent has had that resource lead. So probably a little bit careless by Price. The second infantry squad in this game that he has lost, putting allies really on the back foot from the start.
A lot of players that will be new to this game. And I hope I'm very hopeful and probably astute in saying we are going to have thousands of extra viewers today. We are going to be hosted and we are going to be on Steam. So there'll be a lot of people that aren't accustomed to this game, and they'll be asking why hasn't the northern team, the guys in blue, given up yet? Well, Coming Heroes does have the propensity to have comebacks. There are mechanics in the game that give you a little bit of a foot up should you be down against the ropes, but in all my casting years, it would be a hell of a comeback to see Captain S. Price and the Prodigy getting back in this game.
It's very difficult when the resources are stacked, but actually in recent years with the Company of Heroes, I've found there's a lot more potential for comebacks, and the right combination seems to win. If your opponent makes teching mistakes, you can try and counter it with your own builds, and if you get a good build and it's better than your opponent's, you should be able to take large areas of the map back. You see the AT gun from the Brits opening up on the Lukes. Lukes managed to escaping. Isildur there just throwing an incendiary grenade to push the AT gun away, maybe saving the Lukes from taking a second hit. It's really good support play there from the Volksgrenadiers.
Yeah, the Volksgrenadiers are that Fausty meat shield. That's their job. They've got to protect the tender underbelly of the Panzers. And Commando's being called down, about to land any time now. There's a horse glider. Where's it going to be?
I think we're going to see.
Oh, here we go. Now that's what I call a deforestation landing. Very good. Oh, what's the Raketenwerfer just shot at as well? Just did we see a bit of a... Oh, it's shooting the...
Raketen's just doing...
AT gun, it's destroying the AT gun. There we go. So we caught not only an amazing cinematic, but also what was happening in the game. That's a high five for the casters.
Working together in synergy.
Well, we put cinematics first, don't we? And then we piece together. Beautiful stuff. The Commandos are from Belfast, Ireland.
It's interesting. I mean, like, taking down the AT gun is very, very important. Again, what I think Isildur of Vonasten can do very, very well right now is continue forcing Price to spend his manpower on things other than building, you know, what he wants to build. Maybe tanks, maybe you know, more expensive units. The Lukes here may find the commandos off guard. Instead, he's going to go for the glider, which can reinforce.
Yeah, I guess. Well, could have done in the past. Lukes can't find the commandos unless it gets really close in the east. Vonasten's MG42 is in the saving, loving, graceful arms of the MP40 Pioneers. Back in the west, let's check it out. All the commanders were discovered thanks to the Fox Grenadier 10-man battle group.
I'm quite interested about this engagement on the right now. The penal battalions are very, very strong anti-infantry presence, backed up by the flamethrowers on the engineers, able to deal with any units they encounter in cover positions very effectively. And this is what we're talking about, the right composition. Suddenly that map that was completely red earlier is starting to turn blue, and this is what you have to be worried about when you're playing against Prodigy and Price.
Because they're going to converge on you, they're going to form a mighty morphing Polish Power Ranger, because the constituent squads that are nicely spread around the battle, playing 2 versus 2 company heroes, like you would expect, they're gonna congeal and form a death ball. And it's not a premonition, this is just the facts and nature of life. So it's not a matter of if, but when.
You really get a feel at the moment for what each player's role is. Prodigy's having to build a second AT gun. Price, of course, has nothing after losing his earlier, but he has gone for the AEC, a mobile platform with some light counteracting infantry units, but mainly to deal with the Lukes and Scout Car, I think. The Scout Car's gone, but the Lukes...
Ah, yes, the former Scout Car, indeed. That was dealt with. LMG 42 isn't in a position to fire quite yet, but the penal still might get gunned down. Here comes the Luke's going to try and get around the bushes. Oh, it's been hit by an AT gun. Will it be able to steady itself? No, it won't. It has to reverse away thanks to the AT gun's presence, and that saves the life of the penal battalion. That's the narrow margins we're talking about in Company Heroes. It's such an overlapping skill set you need, and everything's happening so quickly. That's what makes these players the best in the world.
See Prodigy here. I think he's trying to bait some units into this mine. He might get lucky. Takes 2 models down there, and he's trying to save his penal squad. Isildur here is going for a cap of this strategic point, which will cut allies from their resources entirely on the right-hand side of the map. A very smart move for disconnecting resources.
I love it. There's another mine as well on the fuel. That's going to hit this Grenadier. Mines win games. In this case, they're evaporating the manpower income of Vonasten, who has chosen his commander. Interesting Wehrmacht commander, as has Isildur gone with Special Operations Doctrine. Let's check out some of these commanders. 75% off in the Steam store for selected commanders, so these are some of the meta ones you might want to use. Vonasten's chosen a great one for this map. Spotting scopes on Crossing in the Woods. Love Nest, eat your heart out.
Well, the spotting scopes, I think, would have been great if the Scout Car was still alive.
Oh, good point.
The Scout Car, of course, when it hits Veteran C2, has a very, very large sight range, which in Company of Heroes can be very beneficial, helping you spot for those AT guns. So unfortunately, that's gone down. We might see that back in the loadout again at some point. But really, you look to the late game and you look to this unit, the Elephant Heavy Tank Destroyer.
Yeah, what's Prodogolo got? He's got the ISU 152 later on in the game, so we're going to see a battle of the Titans should we get that far. For now, though, we're in the 13th minute. Luke's doing good work. Here comes the AEC. And it's not a Hyundai, it is a very large armoured car.
And these commando drops from Price. He's trying to surprise Isildur by just dropping units behind the lines, maybe causing some chaos on the Raketans. He's just not able to do it.
As quiet as a mouse, we're going to drop in on top of Jerry's head in a huge glider. He won't see it coming.
I mean, it's not the most subtle of plans.
Oh, he gets the kill, but he's left his rear exposed, and you don't want to do that unless you want to get a police order. Fox Grenadiers with a nice Faust. AEC is deterred, and the Panzer II Luke, now Veteran C2, will live to fight another day.
Price looks really rusty there, I have to say, but let's just credit Isildur, because every time that Luke's goes in, he expects the AEC to, you know, push its head into the frontline engagement, and he's ready with the Volks Grenadier to provide the Faust, so that Luke's has not been in any danger in any of the engagements it's been in, and that is really, really good play from Isildur with that vehicle.
He's done well. To be honest, he's really weathered the storm of the Allied comeback with that Panzer II Luke's, I think it's been the MVP unit. And here comes the infantry in the centre that's really starting to push back. Beetle Battalions are in a great position there. Discons were able to retreat and fighting fire with fire. But in this case, Prodigy, he's the master.
Okay, the infiltration grenades. Does the penal squad notice? That's a
lot! Oh, no, it doesn't! Their very existence on this planet was infiltrated and desecrated. Oh, what's this little thing? I've not seen this unit before. It's huge. It's a huge rectangular thing. What is it, Dan? Tell me.
This is the Brim Bear, and not 100% sure what just happened there, but
they were so scared of so-called Brumbear, they've clearly thrown in the towel. There's no other explanation.
No, I agree. It's most likely surrender. GG.
Victory is ours.
Well, what a first game that was, and I've got to say, I can't really blame Allies for not wanting to stay in that game. No tech, no vehicles, 80 guns struggling to get in the field. Suddenly you see a Brumbear, you've got a well-microed Luke's. God knows when the artillery is going to start raining down.
Exactly. They were in a very compromised position. They never had a good footing in the game, thanks to the Tommies going down. Northern Crossroads as Allies is always brutal. But the great and glorious thing about how the community have... I mean, just look at the stats. I mean, Isildur was never out of control, was he?
No, Isildur, I actually think, played very, very... I mean, you can see it all here, right? All the stats kind of point to Isildur. He's done very, very well in that game and looks very threatening. It's going to be interesting to see in the next game what they play as Allies, and whether Prodigy and Price have a better strategy to supply as Axis.
Double Allies crossing in the woods. You gotta want Soviets, I would imagine. They like
double Soviets. I think.
Double Soviets, probably. I mean, Brits are kind of okay with the 6-pounders, but there's not enough like green cover on the sides of the map, is there? It's very